try to scare up votes using the threat of terrorism. I intend to make sure that we rally the country together against our common enemies, but we're not distracted by politics when it comes to our national security. That's the judgment that I intend to provide when I'm President of the United States of America. I've said I want to restore a sense of diplomacy in America. And I want to talk not just with our friends, but with our enemies. Not just with leaders we like, but leaders we don't. George Bush doesn't agree with this. John McCain doesn't agree with this. Hillary Clinton doesn't agree with this. All three of them, they got a particular way of doing things. But I have to remind people of what John F. Kennedy said. He said we should never negotiate out of fear, but we should never fear to negotiate. That's what strong countries and strong presidents do. They talk to their adversaries, and they tell them where America stands. They try to resolve differences without resort to war. And when we take that approach, we will be able to go before the world community and say once again, America's back. America's back, and we are ready to lead. We are ready to lead against terrorism. We will lead against the proliferation of nuclear weapons. But we will also lead in helping countries educate their population. We'll lead in helping poor countries deal with the devastation of HIV/AIDS. We'll lead in bringing an end to the genocide in Darfur. We will lead on civil liberties and civil rights and rule of law and due process. We will close Guantanamo. We're going to restore habeas corpus. We will say no to torture and renditions, because you will have a president who has taught the Constitution, who believes in the Constitution, and who will obey the Constitution of the United States of America. Let me just say this, all this can happen if you're ready for change. And I think you are ready. But you know, a lot of people are looking skeptically at what we have been building all across the country. You know, they first of all, they say, well, you know, Obama, he may have good ideas, but he hasn't been in Washington long enough. We need to season and stew him a little bit longer and boil all the hope out of him. Maybe he'll be ready, 20 years from now. And I have to say that doesn't seem to be working, because I think people realize the last thing we need is to have the same old folks playing the same old games, talking the same old talk, doing the same old things over and over and over again and not getting any results. We need somebody who can actually get something done in Washington. We need a change. But then there's the argument, well, you know what? How's he going to stack up against the Republicans? Yeah, they're tough. They're a tough bunch. They're a mean bunch. How's he going to stack up against John McCain? Well, listen, I revere John McCain's service to our country. He is a genuine American hero and deserves our respect. But John McCain, when it comes to his policies, is no different than George Bush. He wants his main economic agenda is making permanent the Bush tax cuts for the wealthy. His foreign policy agenda is leaving our troops in Iraq for as long as 100 years, he said. That's not change. That's more of the same. That's not looking forward, that's looking backwards. And we don't want to be the party of yesterday, we want to be the party of tomorrow. We are going forward. We're moving this country in a new direction. I want to have a debate with John McCain about where to take the country.